Good morning everybody, a warm sunny welcome to episode 5 of my Walk and Teach. So this week I'm going to explain the difference between past simple and present perfect. So these two tenses are very similar. Over the years that I've been teaching, this is one of the sticking points for moving on to that next level, getting past the intermediate level, upper intermediate levels of speaking and using English. The perfect tenses are a difficult group of tenses to grasp, but I'm going to try and make those as easy as possible. So we'll start this week with looking at that difference between the past simple and the present perfect. So let's start with the past simple. We use this tense to talk about finished actions with a finished time. That's one of the big differences, that finished time. So what's a finished time? It's a time that doesn't connect at all with the present. So we can talk about yesterday, last week, 5 minutes ago. There's no connection to now with those specified times. So let's make some examples. So I walked in the forest last week. Last week has finished. It's now this week. I walked in the forest last week. That's all you know. You know that I did an action in the past and I tell you when that action happened. If we move on to the negative versions of this tense, I didn't walk in the forest yesterday. So again, yesterday is a finished time. But I'm now using the auxiliary verb did. This is where the tenses are, remember, in the auxiliary verbs. I didn't walk in the forest yesterday. Question forms. Did you walk in the forest yesterday? And where did you walk in the forest yesterday? So past simple, nice simple tense. Remember, we use the auxiliary verb in the negative and the questions only. And all we do is modify the verb in the positive form from the bare infinitive walk. And it's regular, this verb. So we just add ed. Walked. Past simple, walked. Now that's a good place to move on to perfect tenses and to move on to the present perfect. Because we use a finished action again. The difference is we don't use a finished time. The action in the past connects to now, to the present. If we're talking about the present perfect, that past action connects to the present, to now. So that's why I like to call them connecting tenses. Remember, they're known as perfect tenses from the Latin word perfectum, which means finished, done, completed. So that verb is the same, absolutely the same as the past simple version. But for perfect tenses, we use the past participle. Now this is the third form of the verb. So just to give you an example, walk, bare infinitive, walked, past simple, walked again, past participle. It's the same. But for irregular verbs, such as go, the bare infinitive, went, past simple, and gone, past participle, that third form. We always use the third form of the verb for perfect tenses. So let's make some examples of how we connect that finished action with the present. So I can say, I have walked 2 kilometers so far. So how does that past action connect with now in that example? It's because we're talking about what I have done and finished. And here I am still walking in the forest, and I have walked 2 kilometers so far. So we use the present perfect to talk about how much, how many, and how many times we have done something. I have walked 2 kilometers. That's how many. I have spent a lot of money this week. That talks about how much. And I can say I have walked in the forest 3 times this week. That tells you how many times I have done something. So all these actions are finished, but they connect to the present. So a classic use of the present perfect is to connect a present state with that past action. And we don't always have to say how many, how much, or how many times. So let's make an example. I can say, I have cut the grass. And I say, look, I have cut the grass. The action of cutting the grass was in the past, but the connection to now is that lovely lawn, that lovely green English lawn that I'm looking at right now. So we're connecting that past action with a present state. Now, switching that example to the past simple, now the verb cut is irregular. It's a strange one because the bare infinitive, cut, the past simple, cut, the past participle, cut. So, if I want to give you an example of the past simple, I cut the grass yesterday. So important here is when that action happened in the past. Yesterday, that finished time. Yeah, the grass still looks good, only 1 day later, but that's not the point. The point is that I did it yesterday. That's the key to the past simple. So I always advise my students to get into the habit of always making reference to that finished time. Yesterday, last week, 5 minutes ago. That way you can get it nice and clear, the past simple. When we're talking about the present perfect, that's when it becomes a little bit tricky. Bit of a grey area, isn't it, for many of my students. Over the years, they've always struggled with this tense. But don't be afraid of it. Get into that habit of using it as often as possible. And in the beginning, it doesn't matter if you get it wrong a few times, and you will get it wrong a few times, depending on your level. But once you have a grip of perfect tenses, particularly the present perfect, your English moves on to the next level. I've seen it many, many, many times over the years I've been teaching. So that's just a quick look today at the difference between past simple and present perfect. If you like the video, please like it, repost it, share it around, leave a comment. If you'd like me to talk about something in the future, about the tenses, these videos are always about the tenses. Leave a comment and I'll cover it if I can in the future. Take a look at my web app. The address is on the screen right now, or there's a QR code linking it. And I'll see you next week for episode 6, Back in the Forest. Take care. Bye for now.